YouTube? It's Mike with the guns. I just wanted to do a quick video today because I finally got a new case for my Draco. I've had this gun for a while. I want to show you guys this thing because this is pretty. Dracos are pretty popular these days, and I'm sure you can see why. It's chambered in 7.62 by 39. I got a 30-round mag on it. It accepts drum mags, anything that regular AKs take. This is an AK pistol. I think it's got a 6.25-inch barrel, which comes with its stock. But after I had this gun for a short time, I realized that I needed some sort of case for it. And I didn't like all the options that were out there, not like there's too many custom options out there. So I went over to my local sports shop, Academy Sports. I ended up picking up this cheap case. The brand is Plano. It was a cheap $20 case, but the reason I liked it is because in my mind, having just got this gun at the time, in my mind, this case fit perfectly. I pictured myself putting this thing in the trunk or in the passenger seat, somewhere where I could have this easily accessible, which I haven't been able to do yet because this case really wasn't just gonna be suitable, and I'll show you why. I wanted to leave the mag on it and everything for obvious reasons. It would just be so convenient to just grab this thing, rack it, and then use it for self-defense if needed. Pull it out of the trunk or pull it out of the passenger seat, back seat, whatever. So if you look at it, it really does fit perfectly to the eye. I've got to kind of hold it here in place even though I'm covering the gun a little bit. But look at that. It just fits perfectly with the mag and everything. So I was able to get it closed. I've had this like this for a long time. I keep this not even in my safe. I keep this out on my home defense shelf. I put it in my safe when I leave the house, but I keep this gun out in my home defense shelf. But I have put it in this case before several times, just because this is the only case I had for it. So I do know that it does actually fit. You can see it fits in there perfectly now. Here's the problem. This case is not very thick. It's got foam on the bottom, foam on the top. AK style guns obviously have the charging handle on the side here. It sticks out, I don't know exactly how much, but like another inch from the side of the gun. That's what's causing the problem with this case closing. And I can get it closed. I'm just showing you the spring tension cut. It's not spring tension, but just the way it kind of pops back up. That's why I'm doing that. It's not that hard to close, but I'm just showing you how it pops back up. That's why I'm doing that. So you can see it pops up that much, which is a lot. So you can bounce it down. So you just press it down, click that into place, click that into place. Now I don't really see a huge bulge or anything like that where the charging handle is. But just knowing how tight it was to close, and it's always been that way, I just don't feel comfortable leaving the gun like that for any long period of time. Even if it's just for a few hours going to the range, I just don't see any reason to put additional stress like that on the charging handle. So what I was gonna do, and I still might end up doing, was marking where the charging handle actually goes when you close it. Then going and heating it up with a heat gun or a heater, any sort of heat source. I don't have a hairdryer, that's why I say heat gun. I've got tools in my shed, more accessible than a hairdryer because I don't have any hair these days. So I wanted to heat that up pretty good and then close it nice and tight while the plastic is heated up. And I figured that would make some sort of little bulge to ease the pressure where the charging handle is pressing. Or I could cut a piece of the foam out. I haven't even tried any of that yet because it was just clear that this wasn't the case to use for this thing, even though I might kind of end up modifying it so it's suitable in some way. So what I just ended up getting, because I ordered this case for another gun also, this is custom made for the Micro Draco pistol. They actually make one for another one of the Draco models too. I'm not sure if it's the mini Draco or the full-size Draco, but this company, Peak Case Co., does make this case for another Draco model. They make this for the Micro Draco, which is the one that I got because that's what I've got here. Let's go ahead and open this up. And this is a really nice case. This cheaper plastic case was only $20. This case was around $130, and it's worth it. I'll go over some of the features real quick. First of all, it looks like a first aid kit, which is really cool if you're taking it to the range or keeping it in your trunk. Really keeping it anywhere. It's just kind of a cool look. I didn't like that look at first. I really do, and I still kind of do wish I could get a black one just like this, but they don't make it in black. That's just the way that it is. So they make it looks like a first aid kit. One of the cool features about this case is it has a little combination lock here. Not like it's extremely secure, but if you have kids around the house, it might keep them away from the gun temporarily. If you're in the other room briefly or something like that, you wouldn't want to trust this lock if you're not nearby because it can easily be busted open. But it's a cool feature. You push that, it releases the zippers. Let's open this up. And just so you guys know, these cases are not airline approved. So if you are planning on bringing your AK pistol on an airplane, you will not be doing it with this case. I just wanted to let you guys know because it does say that in the note here. The cool thing about this case is it's actually custom fit for the gun. And they make these for a few different guns. But this one is custom fit exactly for this gun, and it really is. The only thing I don't like about this case, and I'll say that first, like, I wish I could keep the mag on the gun. Most people probably don't care about that. It's probably safer to travel without the mag, whatever. I want to have an option to travel with the mag on it, though. It would be cool. So let's go ahead and get this one closed because this is the case I will not really be using unless I modify it somehow. So first of all, let's get the mag off this thing. You've got a spot for the mag to go right here. You could actually fit 2 mags there. Then Micro Draco fits right in there perfectly. I thought I was still going to have some sort of issue with the charging handle causing a little bit of pressure because this case is not that much narrower than the other case I was using. So I thought there was going to be still a little bit of pressure, but there's none. The charging handle goes down on this one. So when you close it, it closes perfectly. I mean, really, no pop-up or anything like that. That only little pop-up is just from the foam. That would be there anyway, even if there was no gun in there. This closes easily, though. This is the case for this gun. So this is what I'll be using from now on. Just to show you some more features about this case. Okay, I said the only thing I don't like about this case before was that you can't leave the mag on the gun. There's another thing that I noticed before that I don't like about this case, but it's not a big deal. Let's get this off for a second. Put this aside. Underneath here, now this is all good stuff I'm about to explain. I'm getting to the one thing I don't like, which again is not a big deal. Underneath here, there's another foam which is not removable. That one can hold, it's got 3 slots for AK mags, and it looks like they can hold 2 each. So you could put 6 additional AK mags down here. You could put a handgun over here also. I didn't put any of my handguns here to see what fits, but I imagine pretty much everything would fit there because they have a little piece that you could remove for a longer barrel, and they have a little piece you can remove for a longer grip or a slightly longer, I guess you wouldn't leave the magazine in, so really if you had a longer grip. So I imagine most handguns probably would fit here. They've got a spot for a handgun magazine here also, and a handgun magazine in the top foam. So as I was getting to before, one of the other things I don't like about this, the charging handle goes down when you put the Draco in here. And luckily it doesn't line up with one of the magazine slots or anything like that, but it lines up with the foam that's down here, which is not removable. So if this foam was to be damaged on the top here, you could order, I imagine you can order this piece from them because I know they do custom orders in certain cases. So if you're ordering something that they already sell, I'm pretty sure that they would sell you an additional foam. I'm almost sure of it. So this one can be replaced. This bottom foam, as far as I know, cannot be replaced, and the charging handle digs directly into it. So eventually meaning after the first day at the range with the thing bouncing around in the car on the way to the range, bouncing around back and walking to first day, it's going to chop through this bottom foam, and it's always going to be in the same spot because these are custom cut really precisely. This gun will not even shift. I mean, you're talking less than a centimeter of shift. So the hole will only be a centimeter. It's not going to be that big of a deal. It's always going to be in the same spot. But that's just something I noticed, and that hole is going to develop pretty quickly. Not a big deal though, because the case is a lot more easily replaced than the parts on the gun. And putting additional stress on the charging handle and the bolt carrier group is not something I want to do if you don't have to. Especially in getting into the habit of doing that on a regular basis. Not a good idea. Just so you guys know how this thing is made, it's not going to flop around. It's made from foam mostly, but it's not going to flop around because the bottom layer is a very thin layer of plastic. And then right above the plastic, it has a thin layer of felt, then some foam, looks like about 2 inches, and then felt on top again. So it's a very well-made case. It does fit perfectly for this Micro Draco. And you can put a handgun in the bottom. Plenty of additional mags. It'll hold a lot. I was having a hard time getting my mag in before. I was wondering, I was like, why is that a little more difficult? Because I tried it for a second before I started the video. I just realized now that it's cut a little bit different in this area. The mag has to go, so the tabs are up here on this side, the right side, and then it falls in a lot easier. And that's how everything gets positioned in there. It has a spot at the top if you do add optics to your AK also. You can remove this. It says to remove any of these pieces that are left over with a razor to make sure you get it precisely. Don't leave any jagged foam. You wouldn't want to spend $130 on a case and then have jagged foam parts if you can prevent that. So this is the new case I have from Peak Case Co., the case for the Micro Draco pistol. Hope you guys like it, and if any of you other guys have one of these cheaper cases, maybe you'll consider upgrading also, because I am happy with the upgrade. It fits great, and it holds some additional things too, like mags and a pistol. So if you're thinking about getting this case, go ahead and get it, because it looks like it's very well made, exactly as they said. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys soon.